But I want to start with what popular culture is on right now, which is Ja Morant. Those of you who are into the NBA, which I absolutely am, this is my time, my season. I all the way back as a little girl, I remember being on my back porch when Dr. J was playing in a series of 76ers. And I love me some Dr. J because I grew up watching him on
Yes.
my little black and white when he played for the 76, when he played for New Jersey for the Nets. I remember the afro, the little tiny shorts, and I remember the fish that say Pittsburgh because I was in a smoky ass theater in East Orange, the Ormont, and I was like, I couldn't breathe. I was getting emphysema because you could smoke in the theaters, and I couldn't
Yes.
get a seat. I was in the back row being inundated with afro hairspray and cigarette smoke as a little girl. I love me some Dr. J. And then he was a 76er. And then it was
Wow.
Fo. It was Moses Malone. It was Maurice Cheeks with his cute self and his little curly hair. I just loved him. And I remember the series where they played Bill Walton, Portland. And I was so invested because I was in love with the 76ers because
Yes. Yes.
and this big giant redheaded white boy. And I was like, they cannot beat my black gladiators. Maybe I was 12. I can't even remember how old I was. Maybe I was 12, but I was so invested. And I, as a result, could not stand Bill Walton forever, ever, like just because he beat my 76ers. So this is my time. This is my season, the May, June, the
Right.
playoffs. I'm
Right.
totally in,
Right.
and I'm team LeBron all day long. And I was yesterday, Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum showed out yesterday. Showed out. I watched every second of it.
Did
Jason
you?
Tatum,
Okay, talk to me. I didn't know
I'm not really a
this.
basketball person.
That's what I was saying. So,
I'm not really
what are we
person.
saying?
But I said, let me go ahead and check out this semifinals. They wore Philly out so bad. Jason, but I'm gonna really tell you what I think this is. And most people are not really doing this level of analysis, I think. But really, it's really what Malidoma Some is talking about in Healing Wisdom Africa in terms of the matrix of community. It's really the fact that they were playing at home and the communal energy was welcoming and pushing them towards the greatest manifestation of their gifting. And Jason Tatum gave it to him. But he's always had it. But it's a different thing when the people beckon it from you, when the people conjure it from you, when the people summon it from you, right? It has no choice but to really come forth. Because really, Jason Tatum surprised himself. It's really the power of, it's the energetic connection between the individual and the community.
And we can't always see that, but we feel
right.
it. 51 points, this young man. And people will focus in on the X's and O's. I focused in on his mama because she was in, they kept panning the camera to his mother throughout this. His mother, she was sitting courtside, beautiful woman. And as I was reading up on Brandy Cole, volleyball star, she wrote this. She said, I was a volleyball star. I was class president. I was top 5% of my class. I had scholarships to everywhere. I had all these hopes and dreams. But I could honestly say the moment that they handed him to me, I was like, nothing else mattered. And the only thing I wanted to be was the very best mom. That's the only thing I wanted to be. Wow. She got pregnant, gave birth to him at 19 and still went to college.
Yes,
she went to college. Brandy Cole went to college at 19. She was juggling parenthood, her education. She said, I had professors telling me I should quit, but she taught her son perseverance. She earned not one, Dr. Black, not one, not two, not three. She earned 4 degrees. She has her BA, her MBA, and she went to law school. And you think about a woman who had a teenage mom.
Yes.
Could have dropped out, could have had all, and I'm not going to hold her up as exceptional in the sense that this is the possibility for everyone. No one has to give up anything.
That's right.
But she individually could have had everything for herself. Could have, I'm not even going to get into whether she should have kept the baby or not. She made a choice because it's her body, her life, to keep this baby and then pour herself into him through pouring herself into herself. So she did not forsake herself, her education, or anything. She went and she just recently got married in 2016, remarried or married, because I don't think she was married to Jason's dad, which is irrelevant because we're going to have a conversation about that. But then she knew that this baby was going to be something. She said, I took him to the YMCA. They didn't ask, so I didn't tell. She just showed up with a toddler and started nurturing him. He was bigger than all the other kids. And so she didn't tell him how old he really was. And she said it, and it was funny because even then I knew he was gifted. I mean, he was 3.5 and he was still the best player on a team of 5-year-olds, you know. So during her undergraduate years, she would bring him to class with her because she didn't have childcare. You know, now many universities and schools have childcare on campus, which is beautiful, but they didn't then. And she would take him to class. And she said, I remember he wrote actually, and he did a piece in the Players Tribune in 2016. He said, I remember sitting in the back of her classes, eating snacks and immersing myself in books.
Wow.
Because his mama was in school. So he said, I kept quiet, listening in. And to me, most of her professors seemed boring and talked a lot. He said, but I had my things to focus on. She had hers. I felt normal. And so that's what we did. When my mom couldn't afford a babysitter and grandma was working, we'd go to class together. And I think about that community as well, as this young man dropped 51 points and destroyed the dreams and hopes of the Philadelphia 76ers. And listen, all you who are fans, I love you, but you had a fatal flaw. His name is James Harden. I'm sorry. I don't know why y'all embraced him. He is toxic in terms of playoffs. He never shows up. He never has, not in OKC where he failed, not in Brooklyn where he failed. Every place he goes, he got Chris Paul hemmed up when he went there to play with him. Every place he goes, there he is. He's one of them people that just show up, and he's a great player, probably one of the most prolific scorers, one in the top 10, probably prolific scorers who just doesn't have that thing. And maybe it's a lack of community. Maybe it's that he is divorced from community and wears.
You know what I thought about yesterday, Karen? It's if I can say this quickly. One of the things I thought about is Philly must change the name of that team. In 1776, you have a team full of black men, and you call yourselves the 1776ers? Where would they have been in 1776?
Fighting for the British.
Trying to get the hell away from the rest of y'all.
Fighting for the British to get their freedom.
Absolutely.